Hi and welcome on to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that may link with the January transfer move to Arsenal. The 31st of January, that is when the window shuts. Not long. We are closing in. I think next week is going to be a really, really busy week when it comes to transfers and what is going to happen at Arsenal. It's going to be really, really interesting to see. Really interesting news today, actually, even before we get into the players, that our manager, Mikel Arteta, has been offered a contract extension at Arsenal, a 2-year contract extension. I think the report originates from the Daily Mail saying that he's going to get a 2-year extension to his contract that was set to expire in 2023. And yeah, that, you know, it's apparently to fend off interest from Manchester City, who are very interested in taking Mikel Arteta, apparently, if and when, should I say, Pep Guardiola leaves. They see him as the perfect replacement. And that's why they're giving him this extension. Really, really interesting. I'd love to get your opinion on this because, listen, the season is far from over. And we know that we've still got the top 4 to go for, which would be huge. Huge. I was doing and you have to check out the podcast I did with Lee Judges yesterday, Invincible Podcast. It's out right now, and we were kind of discussing this, and we were saying if he gets top 4, brilliant. You know, we haven't won a trophy, but brilliant. If he gets into Europe in the Europa League, still, you know, you'd say decent season, not the greatest, but decent. If he falls outside that top 6, though, for you, does he keep his job? Let's say we finish 8th again with no trophies. So are they being a bit hasty here? Should they wait until the end of the season to see what happens first? Because if we finished outside the top 6, I think it'd be a poor season. I really do. When you take into consideration no trophies, you know, no finals, I think for a club like Arsenal, it would be a very poor season. We've only got the top 4 to fight for now, and it's going to be how he does in that. But you know, in the trophies, we've been poor. I mean, as we know, we didn't have no Europe from the start of the season. FA Cup knocked out in the 3rd round by Nottingham Forest, as we know, beaten in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. So are they being a bit hasty in this? Should they wait until the end of the season to see what happens first? But what it is showing is that the board have got a lot of faith in Mikel Arteta. They rate this guy. They see him as part of the long-term project of this club, and they are really putting their faith in him. And it seems like they're putting their faith in him financially as well, because we know that they've been pushing to try and get Dusan Vlahovic signed up for Arsenal. It's a really tough deal, as we know, but if they do pull it off, it's going to be a humongous deal. Absolutely huge. And can they pull it off? That's going to be the thing that we're going to be waiting to see in this transfer window. I did an interview yesterday over on the DR Sports channel with transfer expert Fabrizio Romano. And I want you guys to take a little look at this. I spoke to him about Vlahovic. I asked him about Melo. Also asked him about the goalkeeper that Arsenal are interested in as well, Matt Turner. Check this out and hear what Fabrizio Romano had to say. What are you understanding around the Dusan Vlahovic situation?
To me, it looks like a really clear story, to be honest. I know that we have a lot of rumors, but the story looks really clear. Also, talking with Fiorentina directors, official, the situation is super clear. Fiorentina are open to talk with any club. Arsenal are pushing since long time because they want Dusan Vlahovic. They are trying in every way to sign Dusan Vlahovic. So Arsenal interest is 100% confirmed and they want him. But at the same point, from player side, there is no answer. The player is not answering. Also, what Fiorentina directors say today is we are trying to have a conversation with Vlahovic, with his agents, to know what he wants to do, but he's not even answering. And when he's not answering, it's because the player idea is so clear. He wants to decide in the summer He doesn't want to decide in January. He doesn't want to move in January. His plan is to leave the club in the summer. So this is why it's absolutely complicated for Arsenal, because they're trying and pushing and showing ambition, in my opinion, because they're showing that they want this boy at all costs. But at the same point, the problem is not with Fiorentina. Arsenal-Fiorentina is a very good relationship. They're prepared to pay and have a good conversation with Fiorentina. So I don't see a big problem between clubs. The problem is with the player, because he doesn't want to move in January. So Arsenal are going to do something crazy in the final week with him and with his agent, with a big commission, with a big salary to change his mind, or this deal for January window is going to be more than complicated. Yes, it's a serious possibility. For Leno, we have to see what happens in the next days, if Newcastle will really make this official proposal after some conversation. They had some conversation, but no official proposal yet. Let's see if they will enter into these stages. But Arsenal are seriously working on Matt Turner. They want him as backup goalkeeper. So they're working on that deal with the club. With the player, everything is agreed on personal terms. So it's just about clubs now. They are in talks. They are in conversation. And I think it's a good possibility for the last week for Arsenal to sign a new goalkeeper. Of course, the first goalkeeper would be Ramsdale, but to have a good backup like Matt Turner, who is the goalkeeper of United States national team, so a good opportunity.
There's another player over in Italy at the moment that also have been looking at, and that's Arthur, who's at Juventus at the moment. There seems to be a sticking point. You know, again, seems to be a lot of interest from the player, from what we're hearing, in coming to Arsenal, but the sticking point seems to be the loan move.
Yes, the problem is about the formula. Yes, the loan move, because Juventus, first of all, they need to find a replacement if they want Arthur to leave the club in January. And at the moment, it's not easy. They were thinking of Dennis Zakaria of Borussia Mönchengladbach, player that is also in Manchester United list, but at the moment it's not something easy on player side. They're exploring the market for midfielders, but it's not easy to find a solution on loan, because if Arthur leaves on loan, they need a player on loan. So this is why the situation is complicated. At the same point, talking about Arthur, they had a meeting, Arsenal, with his agent. It was a good conversation because the player is open to join. But at the same point, Juventus want an 18 months loan, not just 6 months. They want a whole salary paid till the end of the season and till the end of the next season too. And so at the moment, the situation is still complicated between clubs. Let's see if in the final week of the window, Juventus will find a replacement and maybe will give the green light for Arthur to Arsenal. The talks are still on, so it's not off. But let's see what happens, because at the moment it's still not so easy to find an agreement between all the parties involved.
So that's Fabrizio Romano's opinions on those. The one of particular interest to me, of course, is the Vlahovic one. And what he's saying, that he's not discounting it, but what he seems to be saying there is that, you know, Arsenal want to do it, will stump up the big money it will take to get the deal done. Fiorentina would be willing to take that money, you know, because they know that he is going to go, whether it be now or in the summer. But it's down to the player. Is the player going to get tempted? You heard Fabrizio there. He'd like to stay until the summer. He'd like to see out this season with Fiorentina, and then make his decision in the summer. He knows that in the summer, and I've been saying this for the duration of me doing this January transfer window, transfer daily, that he knows come the summer, loads of teams are going to be, everybody always wants a striker. And when you look around at the moment, there's not lots and lots and lots of top class strikers available, you know, and the ones that are available, you know, are only going to be available to certain clubs. You're going to have Mbappe is going to be out there available, but probably Real Madrid. You're going to have Haaland who's going to be available. Again, Madrid or one, you know, Man City. It's going to be a king's ransom to get any of those players. And plus, because so many teams want them, they're going to have the pick of where they're going to want to go. Underneath those two, you're looking at guys like Vlahovic. You know, if he can keep his goal-scoring record going from now till the end of the season, he's going to have every top club in Europe clamoring for him. So he might be calculating and saying to himself, let me just wait it out, wait until the end of the season, might be able to get my dream move to, say, a Juventus, may even be able to get like one of those other big elite clubs come for me. You know, if that doesn't work out, I've got Arsenal as an alternative. You know what I mean? There's more alternatives for him if he plays the waiting game. Or can Arsenal tempt him with a really big offer? You know, offer him big wages, offer him security that he just thinks himself, you know what, if I make this move now, Arsenal are a big club. They're showing ambition. They've got a good team together. They're getting a good team together. It's London. Wow, you know what, actually, so it's all going to be down to the player. And I think the agents are going to play a big part in this, as this happens in football now. Agents, you know, they start to get a load of money in the deal and all that. They can urge their player to make that move. It's going to be one of those. And this is the problem when you've got these players like this that are really, really in demand. It takes a lot of money to get these deals done. And it doesn't always just go to the club and to the player. You got to get these agents involved to twist the arm of the player to make it happen. If Arsenal can't get Dusan Vlahovic, there's another alternative that apparently they're looking at, and that is Jonathan David. Now, we've spoken about Jonathan David a few times here on Transfer Daily during the January transfer window. The Canadian who plays for Lille, he's been having a great season, scoring for fun. He also has been linked with a move to Arsenal. He'd be a bit cheaper, around about the £45 million mark is what the quotes are, anything from 45 to 50. Remember, say Arsenal did pull out of the Vlahovic thing, Lille would know that Arsenal are desperate for a striker. Prices go up. That's how it works. But would he be a great alternative? Listen, Arsenal got to look at alternatives because the Vlahovic one is going to be difficult to get done. And we need a striker. We need a striker. We saw it the other night. And not only that, think about it. Come the summer, as I keep repeating, Lacazette's gone, definitely. Eddie Nketiah's definitely gone because, you know, they haven't signed new deals. So we need a striker. So could Jonathan David be that guy? Should we move for Calvert-Lewin? There's been that talk. But could you see, you know, Everton selling Calvert-Lewin, you know, especially the position they're in at the moment where, you know, they could be drawn into, you know, especially last night's result with Norwich winning, they could really be drawn into a relegation fight if they don't win their next couple of games. So it's a real tricky one for Arsenal. It's a real tough one. Can they get Vlahovic done? And if not, plan B's, would Jonathan David be a good plan B? I'll ask you guys that today. Would Jonathan David be a good plan B if they can't get the Vlahovic deal done? Listen, thanks for watching the show today. Of course, we've got a game tomorrow against Burnley. We'll be back in the morning with another Transfer Daily and then loads of content around that Burnley game. That's going to be our last game for a couple of weeks as we go into that winter break. Then the FA Cup weekend, we're out of it. So, I don't know, man. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're just going to have league games from now till the end of the season, but it is what it is and a chance for us to get into the top 4. Thanks for watching the show. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I'll see you tomorrow.